My name is Colton Watson. I'm a student at Whiteland Community High School. I'm a freshman in the class of 2028, and I do anything from cross country and the 5K and stuff. And I'm gonna run a bit of the 400 this year. Kind of cuts off at the 800, but I ran 53 in indoor this season. So I mean, I guess not bad starting somewhere for sure. But I'm excited for a good freshman year in track and ready to work for sure.
Nice. So how did you get into cross country and track and field?
So basically, in sixth grade, I didn't want to run. Here's a funny story. I actually wanted to play tennis, but
Okay.
my mom made me run. And so she made me do cross country. I fell in love with it and I
Okay.
haven't turned back since. So I've been, just running miles since little 11-year-old, just haven't stopped.
No, that's
Good.
cool. So what made
Yeah.
you want to play tennis? I'm curious. I like tennis.
I think mom, I had a I always felt like I had good hand-eye coordination,
Hmm.
but clearly maybe that wasn't the path for me. I don't know. I've played a bit of basketball. I played this year and stuff, so I mean maybe a bit. I think I'd be all right at tennis, but I'm glad my mom made me do, what I did. She kind of gave me a choice, but she was like pushing me towards one way because my brother runs. So
Hmm.
that's kind of where it started. He's 2 years older.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She was trying to make it convenient.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Now be running all over the place, right?
Right. I want to go to one
yeah.
practice.
For sure, for sure.
Who's been your biggest inspiration in this sport so far?
I think my biggest inspiration is Jesus. The
Okay.
way that he in my opinion, what he's done for us just makes me want to go harder every day.
Mhm.
Every single run, I'm just like, God, you gave me another opportunity today. You woke me up. You allowed me to have another breath. You gave me this body to run and use to my full ability. So I think that's good. And a verse that I actually was reading about today was Colossians 3:23, and basically it talks about how we shouldn't be lazy and stuff. We should use what God has given us. I think it's good.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So, your mom had you start running instead of playing tennis. What would you say has been your most memorable moment thus far from competing?
In my opinion, running, it's so on the running end, it's just all the memories from my teams. But on the competing end, I think it's so much different. At the high level meets, those were the most fun. In my opinion, winning state was my most memorable. You know, like it was just surreal. You come across the finish line, you're like, I'm a state champion. It's insane. It's a surreal feeling, seriously. But
Mhm.
by far my favorite moment.
So walk us through that a little bit, right? Being a freshman and being able to win state. How did you mentally prepare
Well,
for that?
eighth grade year, I won state. So it was
Okay, okay.
last track season, last track season.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Thank you for
in the future,
yeah.
it's something I want to repeat the process. I want to try to do it early on. Let's try to do it junior year. Let's give ourselves a
Yes,
chance. It's that kind of thing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So even with that, how do you mentally prepare for big meets?
For big meets, the mentally prepare side is obviously, mentally prepare, yes, but physically prepare before is super important. Roll out, stretch, ice bath, do a bunch of that, pre-race the right way, but mentally prepare. I say definitely in my opinion, music is so oh my gosh, it helps you dial in. It's it just makes you focus on the right things. I'm not dozing off looking at buildings before I, get ready for a big race. I'm not dozing off worrying about what other people are doing, how other people are stretching. Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? No, I'm just so focused on you know, what I can do to perform at the best possible.
I love that. I love that.
Now, with this being your early freshman year, what do you see short-term goals and then long-term goals when it comes to this sport?
So short-term goals, I would say this year I do want to try to medal at states. I mean, I think that's a reasonable goal. I want to be diverse enough to work through the 800 to maybe the 2 mile, give myself a chance to medal, like I said. And long-term goals, I mean, I want to try to become a national champion. As crazy as it may seem, I think that over time, if you just focus so much on something, you give everything you have, you can do anything you set your mind to. And I think that's so important to just have your priorities straight.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
mean, I like that you said that because we've spoken to two national champions on this show. So there
I
you
know,
go.
I know one, Calvin, he's a dog. I'll tell you that. I've seen you guys talk to him. That's super cool.
Yeah, well, three. Wait, no, that was three then.
Yeah,
It's
I
yeah.
forgot
crazy.
about yeah. So
Calvin's ridiculous. He's something else. I had to just say that because oh my gosh. Yeah, gosh.
So, how would you say you handle setbacks or disappointing performances?
Oh, I can tell you all about that. So my seventh grade year is kind of where it started. I had a chance to go to state for the first time, and I just blew up. I did awful. I drank too much water before I raced. I got too antsy. And then my eighth grade year, I got second at state in cross country, and then I got second at state in the 2400 during track. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I really going out there and competing, or am I just there?
Hmm.
Like, am I gonna go win a race? So then, once those setbacks come, you just kind of like have to realize why you do it. Who you do
Hmm.
it for and like how much work you've put in. You cannot just like give up on yourself. Like you run X amount of miles a week, like you can't doubt yourself. Like you put the work in, you're gonna see results. So I think that those setbacks, they suck. They're hard, but I think that's what makes the best runners. Those setbacks need to happen early on or whenever they happen, I guess. I mean, it's got to be prepared for it. It's part of the sport.
Right,
hmm,
right.
nice. I know you talked about your mom and shifting you from tennis to running, but what other roles has she played in terms of helping you a lot along the way and keeping you going?
So I would definitely say my mom and dad are very important. My mom kind of pushed it towards me, but I would say they are big roles. Like when I'm coming across the finish line, I see my dad yelling, excited, my mom yelling, excited. I'm like, it makes you want to push harder. And like, and this may sound weird, but like when I'm living in their house, they're going to work for us. They're doing everything for us. They're paying for these national trips. They're paying for, all the gas to drive us to these meets. Like it's like, okay, I know they're gonna be proud of me no matter what, but I want to do everything I can to make it like to like return the favor, like pay them back. Not necessarily pay them back, but like through success. And I know they're gonna be proud of me no matter what, but I want them to be able to like, you know, feel some type of like drive through,
Hmm.
whatever I do.
That's
So I think
that's
that's
really
important.
that's really good. Even as a freshman, you understand and appreciate your parents. A
Yeah, I
lot
appreciate
of
that's
athletes
it's definitely
age do
hard to
not.
do.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And so we always like to shout out the parents. So give us your mom and dad's name because we want to give them kudos for how
So
they
yeah.
support you.
So my mom's name is Amanda Watson and my dad's name is Bill Watson. Again, like they're great supports and they're so helpful on the journey. Like you would think when you start running it's just you, but like there's so much more support than you think and it's really just the greatest thing ever.
For sure.
That's
So
cool.
what does success look like for you?
I think success for me is anything that gets me closer to God. Like in my opinion, it's super hard to like push through when you have tough meets. But like I said, I mean, I've got second at state twice, blew up at state before. I mean, second in the nation once. Like it's hard. It's the setbacks are hard, but like at the end of the day, did you find your way back to your faith? Or did you find your way to give respect toward the people that still supported you when you had a tough race? When those hardships came, are you still going to stay mentally tough enough to bounce back and to, maybe feel some type of like you stated, like what success means to me. Maybe you're going to feel something like winning a race. Maybe something will come back to you, obviously. But yeah, I think success is really just, coming closer to God, or to some people, it's really just winning. I get that side too. I understand that. But at the end of the day, you have to know what matters more. And it's most of the time the people around you, in my opinion, at least. I try my best to put others before me.
Absolutely.
Huh. So what you were talking about how the mental toughness and everything else, how do you stay motivated when it comes to all those tough training sessions and everything else?
For me, those tough training sessions are all with my brother and all
Mhm.
with my friend Nolan, who actually just went on a visit to IUND today. So props to him, shout out to him. But they work so hard. And like when I see them just crushing these reps, like we did K repeats and our last K was like 258 the other day. So we were just like getting after it. And I was like, I'm falling off. And these guys are just pushing harder. So it kind of just makes you those training partners are super important. So in the
Mhm.
coming years, 2 years, they're gonna be gone. I mean, I don't really remember what it's like to train by myself. So, during tough workouts, my motivators are my training partners. They push me. They're like, one more rep, one more rep. Or my coach is like, one more rep. Coach is important too. My coach, his name's Kern, and then Coach Emerson. Like Coach Kern will take me through 6x800, and then I'll be done. He's like, nope, one more. Like, let's go. And I'm like, Like this sucks, but I know you want me to be better. So it's that kind of thing, the people that are pushing me, in my opinion.
For sure.
Yeah.
What do you feel like sets good athletes apart from great athletes?
So great athletes, those are the athletes that will put the work in on the days that maybe they don't want to. They'll put those that extra mile in the long run. They'll give that extra rep in, you know, that tempo run or that those 400 repeats, like whatever that may be. They take their easy runs easy. That's super important as well, in my opinion, at least as a distance guy. I don't know what you guys have heard in the past, but I think easy runs, being taken easy, makes a great runner, recovering the right way. And a good runner is somebody that, maybe tends to slack off a bit. Maybe they have that natural talent, but they're not working as hard as those guys, that are great. And I think that talent and hard work is the best thing you can have, and talent and no work is the worst thing you can have because you think you're everything, but you're not. So
Hmm.
again, like I said, like good athletes are just the guys showing up. Great athletes are the guys that are going and putting extra reps in. So I think that's important.
Now, if you could change anything about this sport, what would you think it would be?
Oh, that's hard.
Well, let's narrow it down to just an
That's a
Indiana.
tough. If I could change anything, man, that's a tough question. I'm not gonna lie. Anything,
Anything.
Anything.
literally.
Yes, anything.
I want steeplechase in high school track.
Oh, okay.
I have constantly been thinking about that. I want to do steeplechase when I grow up. So, like, I think it'd be pretty cool to have now. And I don't know if you guys have asked that question before. I got like completely like different answers, like mental sides, but like that's like a physical thing I've been thinking about a lot. Maybe that's not the answer you're looking for, but that's what I've been thinking of
It's
No,
at
about
least.
the
it's
answer
what
you
you would
give, not
change.
what we're looking for. But yeah, we
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that type of stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
For
I
sure.
love that. What's the most valuable piece of advice someone has given you that kind of just sticks with you throughout your athletic journey?
I think that putting in work while others slack has been taught to me in a different way that like a lot of people may have not been taught. So like it's such a simple thing, but the way my parents have like taught me it is so like it just makes me want to like keep running. Like I come home from practice, I'm like, I feel like I didn't do enough.
Hmm.
I feel like someone's running right now. Like
Hmm.
someone's doing that extra rep. Someone's working harder. And so I come home, I'm like, it's so hard because I feel like someone's outworking me. But again, it's a mindset that also pushes me in the workouts that I do. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, it's tough when I come home and on those easy days, I'm like, feel like I didn't put enough work in. But on those hard days, it's a good peace of mind to have that you can always work harder.
Hmm.
Like it's a mental side when you stop running, but like your legs can keep going if you just push through it. And again, like I said, like that's just one thing that helps me push through.
Yeah, I love
Hmm.
that.
Yeah. Now you talk about all these hard workouts. How do you kind of keep yourself physically healthy and prevent injuries?
Well, I think that I start with eating the right meal. Like in my opinion, that's at least gets the workout done the right way. I always eat the same thing for a workout. Like it's the same exact thing every time. Consistency is key. So as long as I do that, I know it'll be all right. But outside of that, like the physical part, stretching is important and like the way you like treat your body in between reps is super important in my opinion too. Like I'm not gonna go like fall on the ground after a rep because I know I have to do another one. That's just gonna like tighten up my legs. And so like in the meantime, shake your legs out, like get a drink of water, but like be ready to go for sure. And once you sit down, you get back up, you get ready to go again. Like that's how you get hurt, that those side of things. And you just gotta stay tough and keep pushing through stuff like that. And another
No, you're
thing
good.
I want to say about that is like when you stop and you like don't want to go, you want to keep going. I just want to say that like you can't do it in a race. You can't stop in a race. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's super important to just keep pushing through the reps, keep pushing through the workouts, push all the way through the finish line, like whatever it is, you can't stop. So you just got to be, physically and mentally prepared to keep going.
Mm. That's that's facts. That's facts. Or how do you handle, excuse me, how do you handle feedback from your coaches?
So I think, most of the time people don't want to listen to their coaches. Sometimes they feel like that they're always not right. But at the end of the day, you got to think like feedback from your coaches is because they want you to be good. I want my coach to be as strict as I want him to be like, if I do bad, I want him to let me know. I don't want him to be like, give me pity or let me feel sorry about it. Like, I need to be prepared to take that negative feedback. And then when I have a good race, yeah, my coach is gonna like, he's gonna give me props. But obviously, like I said, like race after race, you have to be ready for the next race. So as soon as you cross the finish line, your coach tells you whatever, but you got to be ready for the next race. And I think my coach has showed us that like so evidently that, yeah, you finished the race, good job. Next race. It's stuff like that. We don't sit too much on the past, even regardless of a good or whatever it may be. My coaches do a very good job of feedback. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that was a very good question.
Yeah, good.
How do you when it comes to being a great teammate, right? What makes you a great teammate?
So I mean, I'm trying to say this like as most humble way possible. Obviously, I think I'm an all right teammate, and my teammates may say other things. I think I'm good, but um, I think that like communication through even different training groups is great. Like in between reps, I finish my rep, I see another guy cross the finish line like 10 seconds after. I'm still gonna be like, let's go, like keep working. Like there's been a few times over summer we hit like 8 a.m., 7 a.m. workouts. And then like I remember a few times, obviously you feel a bit of adrenaline when you start, putting that work in. I would just yell. I'd be like let's go, scream, clap, like whatever it is, get people into it. Make them want to keep running. Because I think that's a great thing. Like when you want to give up on a workout and someone's motivating you, like it makes you just want to keep going. And it makes you think about all the times you were like laying in your bed, like, oh yeah, I could crush a workout right now, stuff like that. So I think that communication side, building each other up with just even words or, like a fist bump, high five, like anything, literally, just
Yeah,
showing love.
yeah. And what would you say makes you a great competitor?
I will say in the past, I've came up short a lot. Sometimes I feel like I said, I'm just there at the race, but I think me being a great competitor comes on the side of not only showing Jesus through my races, but you know, being able to like have that mental side. I feel like my mental toughness is like my biggest strength. I can focus in so much. It like helps me get through so many races. I'll come to the finish line like I'll start like I'll begin at the start line. I'll be like, none of these guys can mess with me. Even if there's a sub 4 mile in line. I'm still gonna give everything I got. I'm not gonna compare myself to him. I'm not gonna, I'm still gonna fight. I'm still gonna try to work, through it as much as I can. So I think best side of my competition is just my mental side. I think that most athletes can agree with that too. It's the biggest part in any sport. So you have to be able to, have that part in whatever you do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So if we ask your coaches, teammates, or anybody else to describe you in one word, what would that word be and why?
Hungry.
I love that.
I say that because the amount I've fallen short, like all my teammates know that I want to come for it all. And even if that means that I might not, I'm still gonna do everything I can in my power to do that. You might never hear about me again, but I'm gonna try my best to, you know, take that extra step to the finish line. Push a bit harder, do another rep in that workout, push my teammates a little more, do an extra mile in my long run, like anything to just be great and just make everyone around me proud. So I think hungry is like the perfect word for it.
Yeah, I
I
love
like it. I like it.
that. So Colton, if our viewers wanted to follow you and keep up with your progress, what social media platforms could they follow you on?
Instagram and I have Twitter too, but I don't have a ton of followers on there. Mainly Instagram.
And what are the names of your is it your name Colton Watson?
Yeah, Colton Watson, and then every single platform is underscore W dot Colton. So it's like the same thing on every platform. So
Okay. So it's Colton Watson underscore W.
underscore W dot Colton. So like underscore W period Colton with two N's.
Okay. We'll get that worked out. Well, hey,
All
I
right,
I,
perfect.
I want to say thanks for joining us.
I
For one,
appreciate you
for
for your
two,
call.
I really look forward to seeing you down the road because your level of maturity and
Hmm.
in the way you approach this, I'm excited to see this down the road.
I
Yes,
appreciate that.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Wishing you the best of luck, and we definitely will see you out there and definitely at the state meet for
I
outdoor.
appreciate you so much. You
yeah.
guys
Yes.
are doing really cool stuff with this. So I think this is great.
Thank you.
Cool.
for sure.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.